Alright, let's see what recent mods are popular with. Never mind. Ladies, gentlemen, and adventurers of all ages, this holiday season you may be looking for something to spice up your bit of extra free time, especially those of you interested in new playthroughs of Baldurs Gate 3, and of course, it's been a little bit since the last time we talked about some exceptional mods for this game. So today we're going to go over the 10 best mods for Baldurs Gate 3 in December, and the later part of November as well, and this is of course my personal opinion, mostly just wanting to call attention to things that I think are particularly well done in one way or another in the hopes of inspiring those of you on PC to go have a look at what there is on offer, because even if the things that I mentioned here aren't quite up your alley, they are just examples of the extremely deep world of modding for this game, and you can easily find something to make anyone happy if you actually look into it. Either way then, let's begin with this first mod of the day, which is Honor Features Unlocker by Lightboom, and to put this simply, the devs recently added Honor mode to the game, which made two extremely notable changes compared to any other difficulty, being the new legendary ability features that affects every boss fight in the game, and then the inability to use multiple saves, so you're basically locked to your choices the whole way through. They also bumped up the difficulty for this too. I've seen other mods which just re-enabled normal saving in Honor mode, but that feels a bit like cheating compared to what the mode actually wants from you, whereas what this mod does is just move the new boss fight mechanics into earlier difficulties, so you can experience the actual additions to the game, the actual gameplay features that were added if you want to, without the significant difficulty experience that is Honor mode, and I think that this is just a nice way to include more of the community in the fun, and an actually fair way to do so too. Following that, we have the Dampier Race by Ghoul Zero Rules, basically just adding a proper Dark Elf race option to the game with its own visuals and passives. The visuals that you'll see here, the passives are things like a bonus point in charisma and proficiency in conversational skills, levitation as a once prolonged rest ability, and a whole lot of different versions of these types of things for different sub-races the creator put in as well, which are various houses of Dark Elves. This has a ton of detail to it, a ton of different options for it too, custom jewelry as a part of it, some fitting specific eye color choices as well. You'll have seen the customization choices scrolling by as well here, but suffice it to say there is a lot of effort and time put into this, and if you like the sound of playing as a Dark Elf, this is definitely a great way to do it for Baldurs Gate 3. Very detailed and very well executed all around. Third up, we have Glow Eyes by Astralities. This is pretty much what it says on the tin, but it does it in a very cool way. Quite simply, this gives glowing eye color options for various races that didn't really have any before, as well as just enhancing the actual glow on the races that did have the choice. Realistically, this means that this affects every race in the game, except for Tieflings and Dragonborn, and of course this is an aesthetic choice. Not everyone would even want glowing eyes, but I thought it was absolutely well done enough to be worth talking about as an example of the really cool unique customizations that people have created as mods for this lovely game that make the characters even more personalizable to be exactly what you actually want them to be. And hey, this just looks so damn cool, so that's a plus as well, of course. Fourth today is Rogue Fencer subclass by Skyborn. This is a pretty cool idea, and this is an adaptation to fit and balance within Baldurs Gate 3 of a homebrew subclass for Rogue from years and years ago. Essentially, the idea of the subclass is a much more frontline based rogue that uses exceptional sword fighting in a more agile and tricky kind of way than a fighter would, for example, and creates a new playstyle as a result. In actual practice, this is achieved through a sort of augmentation of the Battle Master fighter maneuvers called exploit dice, where you can choose some special actions using these dice that have bonus effects or damage results, as well as the just sort of default effect of exploit dice being able to trigger sneak attack even if you don't have advantage, which of course just results in a ton of bonus damage. Essentially, this is just a new and different, but also actually well balanced, custom subclass for the game that can offer a new experience for the more melee favoring among us, as we tend to get a lot of these types of things that are really awesome for the more magically inclined, but I thought this one was pretty exceptional as a melee subclass mod. Fifth up today is something everyone has been looking for, Slutty Men Wear by Sierra123, and this is great to see. Honestly, I love a good bit of balance in a modding community. There will always be hundreds, if not thousands, of slutty outfits for the women, and I've always said when it comes to games, what we need is not less revealing clothes for women, what we need is an equal and balanced amount of slutty stuff for men, which this absolutely achieves, showing off chests, abs, thighs, and honestly, even regardless of their more revealing nature, they're just actually good-looking, fashionable, stylish outfits that you might appreciate at a base level just for that reason in itself. In any case, there's there's tons of outfits that are great within this, but I actually just appreciate it when I get the outfits that I'm after in a game, so I need to bring this on up as far as I'm concerned. 6th then is Jurassic Gate by Star EMC2, which lets you summon in a whole host of prehistoric creatures to fight alongside you as lovely companions, breaking right out of the park and right into our hearts, joining you as a part of your journey that is simply irreplaceable. In effect, these are essentially just little pets, but you get to choose your own, of course, among them, and they have quite an actually impressive amount of variety there as well, with multiple just sort of raptor pairings of smaller friends that come in groups based on different elements, to larger, more imposing raptors for the elements as well, even to a couple of different saber-toothed tigers, if that is your style too. All in all, just a really fun set of summons, and I always appreciate a well-themed package. Sorry, I'm still thinking about the entry before this. 7th up, we have the Dampier Race, and this is essentially our good old friend Astarion, but as a playable character race, being a vampiric elf with blood either from their host or vampiric parental figure. It's got some simple racial abilities such as a bite attack ability, as well as a bunch of bonuses to attack rolls, ranged attacks, and spells against damaged enemies, immunity to difficult terrain, enhanced movement speed, and jump distance, and just a bunch of really thematic stuff that genuinely fits the concept of the modded race. And it also has some custom faces as well to represent the ideas from the creator themselves. And then this, funnily enough, also interacts with the Astrality's glowing eyes mod that we mentioned earlier, which gives the Dampier some proper glowing eye options as well. 8th today is Autoloot Rares by Swiss Fred, which is just a massive convenience and quality of life increase to the game. What this does quite simply is constantly search for corpses or dead non-ally NPCs within 24 meters of the player. If it finds one, it will automatically take out any equipment that is rare quality or above and send it directly to you, as well as gold and consumables of any actual note. Essentially, the point of this is just cut down your looting time significantly and let you have a more streamlined experience if you want to, with the vast majority of important stuff just going right into your inventory automatically for you to sort out afterwards after you've actually finished exploring an area. It's a relatively simple concept, but one that is clearly born from the wishes of someone who actively plays the game and just created this because they wanted it. Obviously not for a first playthrough necessarily, but for a repeat playthrough, this is awesome. And of course, they made this for themselves and then put it out for the rest of us. And that is what the best mods come from, honestly. A player just wanting something changed within a game and deciding to make that change happen themselves, and then releasing it to others too. 9th up, we have Witcher Gear by Dylan Red 247. This is just a single equipment set and weapon, and if you have some sort of transmog mod, you could use this purely for cosmetics if you wanted, but the creator wanted these equipment pieces to be actually usable and decent as well, so it is of course a set of legendaries. The set itself visually is the Ursine armor set from the Witcher series, and so they have themed it around that concept too, with the chest giving a ton of constitution and strength, as well as some other solid bonuses too. The unique effect on the gloves is +2 bonus to attack rolls against damaged enemies, and then even more stat bonuses. This also separately includes the Wolf Medallion Talisman, which lets you use various Witcher signs to bonus resistances to poison, bonus initiative, and then also just a ton of stat bonuses and advantage on various checks as well. Essentially, this amulet is where most of the power lies within this mod, and then there's just the sword too, which is built to sort of just be okay, more for visual coherency than anything else, which is just making you unable to be disarmed. But also, it's also a finesse longsword, which is quite a rare combination within the game. All in all, this is quite a fun mod, great for Witcher fans, or even if you just like the aesthetics of it all and want to mess around with the abilities too. Then finally today, just a simple dice mod, Emerald Dice by Palmaman33. And I always like to do a dice mod of some sort in these videos because I think that dice mods are quite important for a proper playthrough of this game. After all, whether you are cognizant of the fact or not, you spend a hell of a lot of time in this game looking at your dice, and one of the great beauties of Dungeons and Dragons are having cool dice, custom dice, and so of course the modding community for a game based off of D&D is absolutely chock full of expertly crafted dice mods for you to mess around with, and just having something to look a little bit more fancy looking and a bit more suited to your own personal taste. For me, that would be something like this Emerald Dice set, at least among mods released recently. I just love how good it looks at all angles, the actual detail put into it, and yes, this may be one of the simpler types of mods that you can create for the game, but it's also a very important category. That just about does it for today then, everyone. The 10 mods that I really wanted to share with you all from the last month or so in the Baldurs Gate 3 community, giving you new and interesting ways to change up your gameplay experience in the holiday season. I hope you enjoy these if you try them for yourselves, and if not, I hope you enjoyed experiencing them through this format. Like if you like the video, subscribe with the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Is Goodbye.